Pastor Ed here with daily devotions, my 5 for 5, 5-minute devotions for 5 days, Tuesday through Saturday. This is the devotion for Tuesday, November the 1st, beginning of a new month. It's actually All Saints Day, although we will celebrate All Saints Sunday this coming Sunday. This week, we're going to focus on the readings from Reformation Day and Sunday. Actually, yesterday was Reformation Day and Sunday was Reformation Sunday. And so we're going to look at those readings. The first reading was Jeremiah 31, verses 31 to 34. It goes like this: "The days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I'll make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It'll not be like the covenant that I made with their ancestors when I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, a covenant that they broke, though I was their husband, says the Lord. But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I'll put my law within them, and I'll write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. No longer shall they teach one another or say to each other, 'Know the Lord,' for they shall all know me, for the least of them to the greatest, says the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity and remember their sin no more." It's that last phrase that really caught my attention. I will forgive their iniquity and remember their sin no more. God, over and over again, this is just but one example. The prophet Jeremiah is talking to people who've gone into exile, and they've brought so much grief upon themselves, as we so often do. And yet God, in all the covenants from Noah to Abraham to David, is always trying to re-engage with us, re-engage with the people of God, and help us to know that who God is. And we keep forgetting. Stories told about a couple of old ladies, and the one said to them, "I hate to ask you this. I know we've been playing cards together for years, but I'm getting old. My mind is growing feeble. What's your name?" And the other lady looked at her real surprised and said, "Well, let me think about that. How soon do you need to know?" My mom used to call those senior moments, and I'm at a point in age where I'm starting to have them. I don't always remember things. I forget a lot of things. But there's some things that we don't forget. The story is told about a couple. The husband had done something really kind of egregious, I guess, so we don't know what it was. And his wife naturally chewed him out for it. And to his credit, he apologized. They made up. But from time to time afterwards, the wife would mention again and again what he had done. And he finally said to her one day, "Honey, why do you keep bringing it up? I thought our policy was to forgive and forget." And the wife said, "Well, it is. I just don't want you to forget that I've forgiven and forgotten." It's real hard for us to forget things, especially if we have been wronged in some way, if we've been hurt in some way. The forgiveness is tough enough, but the forgetting is really difficult. But what is it that we heard that God say through the prophet? I will forgive their iniquity and remember their sin no more. Not only forgive it, but remember their sin no more. In his book, Forgiving God in an Unforgiving World, Ron Lee Davis tells the story of a priest in the Philippines, true story, a much-loved man of God who carried the burden of a secret sin that he had committed many, many years before. He had repented, but he still had no peace, no sense of God's forgiveness. Well, in his parish was a woman who deeply loved God, was also claimed to have visions in which she spoke with Christ and he with her. Well, the priest, of course, was naturally skeptical, and to test her, he said, "The next time you speak with Christ, I want you to ask him what sin your priest committed while he was in seminary." Well, the woman agreed. A few days later, the priest stopped by again, and he asked her, "Well, did Christ visit you in your dreams?" "Yes, she did. Yes, he did," she replied. "And did you ask him what sin I committed in seminary?" "Yes," she said. "Well, what did he say?" And she said, "He said, I don't remember." What God forgives, he forgets. Unlike us, so often, God is a God who not only forgives, but he also forgets. A thought for the day, not only for us to have the peace of knowing that God forgives us, but the example, and forgets what it was that we had done, but an example for us to follow in our own lives. Well, have a great day. We'll be back with you again tomorrow. Bye.